Hello and welcome. I'm Davis DeWitt, and this is a giant portable semi-truck horn. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would you make something like this? And I would say, if you could, why wouldn't you? It's huge, obnoxious, it's really loud. Frankly, I think it looks cool. Now, granted, there are other portable air horn designs, so what makes this one special? Well, this actually allows me to run the horn without the compressor going at the same time, which I think is better because you don't have that obnoxious sound going in the background. Also, it allows you to store up more charges via the pressurized tanks. So, as you'll see, this is, I think, the better way to do it. Take a look. For this project, I came up with a couple different design ideas, the first of which was kind of a single large tank in the front with this portable air compressor on the back. But then I ran into a snag, which was the horn is 28 inches long. That's huge! So, new plan, I'm doubling the capacity. I've got a 0.45 liter tank in the back, a 0.6 liter tank in the front, and this portable air compressor is now going to go in the middle. So I think that should be a bit more balanced. I still need to figure out how I'm going to actually trigger it on and off, whether it's going to be a solenoid or a manual valve. So the next step is going to be designing that. So I cracked this bad boy open like an egg, and it's a pretty simple setup. We've got our main motor here. That drives this piston, which forces air into our little junction box. From there, it gets split into a pressure gauge and then our main hose. So what I need to do now is pull this fitting off, and hopefully it matches up with the 1/4 MPT fittings I have. Otherwise, just have to go hunt something else down. So the other thing I need to do is start figuring out where I want to hide the electronics. I can probably squeeze some in here because I think I'm going to go with a solenoid for actuating the horn as opposed to a manual trigger, just because I already have wires set up and it looks like there's some empty space in this case. So let's get started. Well, this is what I was afraid was going to happen. It looks like the threads inside the compressor are a different size from what I have here in the shop. So what that means is I'm going to have to get an adapter that goes from this into all of the different fittings that I already have, which is 1/4 MPT. The other thing I need to do is get a check valve, and that'll prevent air from leaking back into the compressor once it's filled the tanks. So I'm going to go hunt down that somewhere, and after that I can start putting together all the fittings and all the different hoses that will make up our compressed air system. Well, a few things have changed since last we spoke. Most notably, the horn came in, and it is huge. It also has given me a new way to bug the neighbors, because now I can just test it whenever I want. It seems to still be working. The other thing that you've probably noticed, the air compressor changed colors, which the added benefit being of a new color is that it actually has a higher pressure output. And the reason I had to change everything was because the fitting that was going to adapt into the rest of the system just wasn't going to work. So I got this one instead, which leads me to the next point, and that is the air tanks. The original ones I got were up to 4,000 PSI pressure rated. But the downside is they're really skinny. So trying to mount the horn onto these just wasn't going to work. And I was trying to think of what might work instead, and then it occurred to me, fire extinguishers are plentiful and cheap. So I got 2 used ones, and I think these are going to work great. I can just mount the horn onto the front and back of 2 of these extinguishers with the air compressor in the middle, and I think we'll be good to go. So with all of this done, it's time to move into the next step, which is going to be coming up with the electronic trigger system that will actually activate the horn. While you weren't looking, I went ahead and threw together this electronic trigger system that actually works off of the existing battery inside the air compressor. So now when I press this button, our solenoid is actuated via this relay here. And the reason I did this is because there's a giant coil inside of here, and when it's activated, it pulls like 25 watts, which would melt a switch like this. So obviously I want my power delivery to be safe, given this is a lithium battery. And to do that, I just have a normal 12-volt relay. So all this is now going to get crammed inside of our shell here, and then we'll put our fittings on outside of it. I genuinely had no idea that was all going to fit. But it looks like it's staying in there. Now I just need to test. I got the solenoid button down here at the bottom. So, hey, solenoid seems to be working. That's great news, because otherwise I was going to have to unglue a lot. But now that this is all set, I can move on to the next step. All right, so I've laid out all the different components kind of in the arrangement they'll be in the system. And I'll just quickly run from one side to the other how everything's laid out. We've got our main air compressor sitting in the middle here. We'll have tank number 1 sitting here, tank number 2 sitting here, and then I've got a pressure gauge just to tell me where everything is sitting in terms of the pounds per square inch. So hopefully around 120. Down here, this is just a quick coupler, and that'll allow me to charge or discharge the compressed air in the system. Up here, we've got our main regulator, so I can dial up and down the amount of pressure that's going to get fed into the horn. Next is a solenoid, and these are just electronically controlled valves that'll open and close at the push of a button. So after all of that, it gets fed into this adapter, and that in turn is going to feed into the horn, which is going to sit on top of this whole system. So I'm going to start putting all these together and hopefully get everything painted so it looks nice. Now, I know what you're thinking. Davis, you just showed us a very nice layout of the plan. What happened? Why is everything in pieces again? Well, I promise there's a reasonable explanation, and that's because I need to go back through and put thread sealant on everything. That first round was just a test to make sure I had the right parts, everything was the right length, but now that I know it's going to fit, I need to put this sealant on it. And the reason I have to do that is because in this build, all of these fittings provide the majority of the structural support for the tanks and the horn and all the heavy stuff. So if any of those joints start to slip and fall one way, the whole thing's going to come apart. This will dry and keep it in place, which is crucial because I don't want the horn to fall off in the middle of whatever I'm going to use it for. But anyways, I'm going to start putting this all together, and then we can hopefully give it a test. Now we wait. This is the boring part. But while we're waiting for the thread sealant to set, I'll show you the parts that I made. These are going to be the brackets, and I think this is going to be the best way to mount this horn onto the tank. So I have this main piece in the back. Below the horn sits a little channel here where the fittings will actually slot in, and then the whole horn can just be mounted on top, bolted in with these holes, and then it'll go on the back here. And using these band clamps, I can then ratchet it around the tank and hold it in place. Hopefully it won't move. Same thing for the front. We've got another couple bolt holes here, and then a band clamp will go through this, and then strap the whole thing to the horn, and with any luck, it won't move. We'll see. The thread sealant has finally set, and I have a Halloween party later, so hopefully we can wrap this up quickly. The next step is going to be taking the horn and mounting it onto here like I talked about. All I need to do now is just tighten this little fitting here on the end of the regulator, and then the whole system can slide into place. So I'm going to do that, and then once it's done, we're going to pressurize the system, and fingers crossed, it works. If it doesn't, we're going to have to start all over again. Haha! This is arguably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever built. And I built some really zany stuff. But this is fine. This is so cool. This is finally the completed build. It's all in one piece now. I'm going to do some, some tweaking and some little bit of decorative stuff on the sides. But for now, this is the heart of the project. So what I'm going to do is I've got my air compressor hose here. I'm going to pressurize this system and clean out any of the gunk that might have built up. So I've got this here, and we're going to just try. There we go. And I'm going to slowly that's promising. I'm not hearing any major leaks. And looks like our PSI gauge is climbing. All right, so we're right around 60. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off and then depressurize it just to clear out any of that, any of the gunk, because I don't want it going up into the diaphragm of the horn and then clogging anything up. So I'm going to do. All right, cool. That should be enough. So let's see. we go. And then repressurize. Okay, perfect. So if you want to come on over, I'll show you. We've got the, oh, this thing is huge. We've got the pressure gauge right here. So we're sitting right around 40. And what I'm going to do now is pressurize the rest of the way using the actual air compressor here. Let's see if this works. And I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to dial in. So I actually have the menu back here. I don't know if you can see that in the back. And then I can dial up the amount. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to dial it up to, we're going to start at 80 psi because I don't want to go beyond what this is capable of. So we're going to go up to 80 psi and there we go. All right, so we're at 80. This is it. All right, you ready? All right. Cover your ears. This is exactly what I wanted it to be. And it worked on the first try. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna up the PSI. And wow, so those two honks only dropped at 0.5 psi. So having the dual tanks allows me to store up a ton of charges, honks, whatever you want to call it. And then as each time I use it, it's only dropping the pressure a little bit. So I'm going to dial it up now to 100. And if it explodes, oh well. Okay, here we go. And we also have our pressure gauge right here. All right, perfect. And then I'm going to dial up the amount of pressure we're sending to the horn. So I'm going to get this regulator here. We're going to try sending the horn, but this is going to be so loud. All right, so this is 80 psi across the board, 100 psi in the tank, and cover your ears. All right, so maybe that's where we draw the line. That was very loud. Yeah, that was a lot. I'm hopefully not going to get in trouble, but until then, this is the sorry, that was really loud. All right, so now that this is complete and all of the back end of it is working, I'm going to do some decorations and get this looking really cool. I think I'm going to do some decals on the front. So stay tuned, and I'll have, hopefully, the finished product here in a second. So I got all the painting and decals done, and let me just tell you, it was a huge pain in the ass getting all the masking tape back off of this thing, but I think it looks great, and I think all that's left now is to take this bad boy out into the middle of nowhere and see just how loud it can get. All right, we made it. This is the middle of nowhere, or as close as you can get in the urban jungle anyways. Now I've got the horn pressurized to 80 psi, and I've got my app here to measure just how loud this is going to be getting. So let's give this a shot here. Let's see. It's about 125 decibels. That is extremely loud. I've got my earplugs in, so let's go even louder. Let's see if we can get this up to 100 psi. All right, I've got this thing cranked all the way to 100 psi. This is ridiculous. We're gonna see how loud this is. Obviously, I've got earplugs in. Don't try this at home. So let's just see. That was loud. I'll have to go back and look at the footage, but I think that was well over 120 decibels. So hopefully this answered your question with how loud this can be. And the sound's really cool inside this parking lot. It kind of echoes around. So anyways, thank you so much, and let's head back to the shop. Well, there you have it. I think we got some great results on that test, and needless to say, this thing is loud. I still have no idea what I'm really going to use it for, but if you want one of these for yourself, you can obviously make it, or I'm going to be taking some special orders on my website, so be sure to check it out and get one of these bad boys for yourself. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, the Halloween party was a smashing success. I think we had the best Stranger Things costume there, but I'll let you be the judge. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for future builds.